The diplomatic station Zenith Convergence orbited the neutral moon of Tertius 7, a testament to galactic cooperation. Here, over 300 species coexisted in calculated harmony, predators and prey, separated by unspoken rules that had governed the galaxy for millennia. The Vrex hunters kept to the upper decks, their scaled bodies radiating menace. The Thalen herbivores occupied the lower levels, their large eyes perpetually scanning for threats. It was a delicate balance, one that had never been disrupted until the humans arrived. Alberto stepped onto the station's main concourse, his boots clicking against the polished durasteel floor. The 20-4-year-old xenobiologist carried himself with the casual confidence of someone who had spent years studying alien ecosystems. Beside him walked Mona Kahali, the expedition's security officer, her dark eyes sweeping the crowded space with practiced efficiency. What happened next would be discussed in xenopsychology journals for decades. A massive Rex commander, easily 3 meters tall with obsidian scales and teeth like combat knives, was striding down the center of the concourse. Lesser predators, Krath assassins, Bolian mercenaries, even a Draconid enforcer immediately pressed themselves against the walls. The prey species had already scattered, triggering their biological imperatives before conscious thought could intervene. The Vrex commander's nostrils flared as he approached the humans. His classification instincts, honed over millions of years of evolution, searched for the telltale signs. Small binocular eyes, predator trait. Forward-facing gaze, hunter. But the scent was wrong. No claws, no natural weapons, unusual locomotion. His neural processors couldn't categorize them. Alberto noticed the alien's confusion and smiled politely, stepping aside to let the massive creature pass. But Mona didn't move. She stood in the center of the concourse, 5 feet 6 inches of human woman, and met the Vrex commander's gaze with absolute stillness. Not the frozen panic of prey. Not the aggressive posturing of a rival predator. Something else entirely. The commander stopped. His tail, which had been swishing with dominant confidence, went rigid. In that moment, something ancient stirred in his predator brain. His people had evolved hunting megafauna on a death world where everything had armor, venom, or both. They were apex predators by any galactic standard. But standing before this small, unarmored creature, every instinct screamed a warning his conscious mind couldn't process. She wasn't prey. She wasn't a predator. She was the thing predators feared. The Vrex commander's pupils dilated. Without a word, he stepped aside, his massive frame pressing against the wall as Mona walked past. Alberto followed, noting with academic fascination how every predator species in the concourse had suddenly found pressing reasons to examine the walls, the ceiling, their data pads, anything to avoid that human's gaze. "Did you see that?" Alberto whispered as they entered the diplomatic wing. The Vrex actually deferred. "I've never seen documentation of that behavior." Mona shrugged, her expression unchanged. "Maybe he was just being polite." "Mona, that's a Vrex Alpha. They don't do polite. They do dominant or dead." What Alberto had witnessed was humanity's secret advantage, one that Earth's predators had learned the hard way over hundreds of thousands of years. Humans weren't apex predators because they were the strongest or the fastest. They were apex predators because they were persistent, adaptable, and utterly relentless. A human who decided you were prey would follow you across continents, track you for days, and never stop coming. The prey species on the station noticed it first. The Thalen refugees who had been huddled in their quarters began emerging cautiously. They watched the humans with curious, intelligent eyes. Predators made them flee. But these creatures? These humans triggered no panic response. Yet the predators feared them. Over the following weeks, a strange phenomenon developed. When Mona walked through the station, prey species didn't scatter. They watched. They learned. And slowly, they began to follow at a distance. An honor guard of herbivores who had realized something profound. In the presence of the apex, the regular apex predators became just another link in the food chain. Alberto documented everything. He recorded the Krath assassins who now took different routes to avoid human corridors. He noted how Vrex hunting packs would check human locations before moving through common areas. Most fascinating was the behavioral change in prey species. Thalen children now played in areas previously dominated by predators, always within sight of a human. The station's administrator, an elderly Thalen named Kessa, invited the humans to her office 3 months into their stay. Her hooves clicked nervously as she poured them a synthesized beverage. "I must ask," Kessa said, her translator rendering her clicks and whistles into standard. "What are you?" "Our biologists have studied your species data. You have no natural weapons. Your homeworld, while dangerous, is not exceptional. Yet every predator on this station fears you." "How?" Mona exchanged a glance with Alberto. He cleared his throat, falling into lecture mode. "Our species evolved a unique hunting strategy," he explained. "We're pursuit predators. We don't chase prey in short bursts, we follow it until it collapses from exhaustion. We can run for hours, track for days, and we never give up. Our ancestors would wound a prey animal and then just ... follow it for miles. For days, until it died from exhaustion and blood loss." Kessa's ears flattened against her skull. That's horrifying." "That's persistence hunting," Alberto continued. "But that's not what really makes us dangerous. What makes us apex is our adaptability. We can survive in any environment. We can eat almost anything. We can learn any skill. And most importantly, we cooperate. A human alone is dangerous. A group of humans working together has conquered entire planets." Mona leaned forward, her voice quiet but intense. "Every predator on this station knows one thing instinctively. If they threaten us, we won't just fight back. We'll hunt them. We'll study them. We'll learn their weaknesses. And we'll never, ever stop until the threat is eliminated. That's what they sense. Not strength. Not weapons, inevitability." Kessa was silent for a long moment. Finally she spoke, her voice trembling slightly. "The predator species have filed complaints. They say the humans are disrupting the natural order. But the prey species have filed petitions. They want more humans stationed here." Alberto smiled. "Tell the predators we'll stay out of their way. We have no interest in dominating anyone. And tell them," Mona added, her eyes gleaming with that peculiar human intensity, "that we protect those who can't protect themselves. Any predator who wants to test the policy is welcome to try." Kessa never delivered that message. She didn't need to. Within a week, the station's Predator Council issued a formal statement recognizing humanity's status as apex observers and agreeing to expanded protection zones for prey species. The prey animals knew first. But eventually everyone understood humans weren't part of predator-prey dynamic. They were something that sat above it, something that had climbed to the top of their food chain, not through strength or speed, but through the most terrifying trait in the galaxy, the absolute refusal to give up DOT and on zenith convergence. Every predator made space for the humans, while the prey animals finally walked without fear, protected by the apex of apex predators who had traveled across the stars carrying one simple message: we hunt those who hunt the innocent.